Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, September 17th through Sunday, September 23rd. So welcome. For those of you that are new to the channel, glad to have you here. Hopefully you will get something out of today's reading. When I pray and prepare, I do ask that all of you receive at least one message, but do keep in mind this is a reading for a large number of people. So if you don't have anything in this week's reading for you, come back next week and see what we have then. Now, let's see. For all of you that are subscribers, thank you. We are getting closer to that 15,000 mark, and when we get there again, I will be pulling a couple names of people to do some free readings for, so stay tuned. I will announce that when we get there. For those of you that have made some very kind and generous donations, thank you so much. It just blows me away, your generosity, so thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Now, this week is going to be pretty intense energetically. We have an energy wave that's going to be hitting later this week. And the nice thing is this energy that's going to be hitting us, it's going to be helping get things unstuck. It's going to kind of help propel things forward. Now, some things that you can do to help with this process, because let me make sure this is recording. Okay. So, as many of you know, we've been hit by energy waves every month since, it's actually been going on for a while, but most people have been really especially feeling them since the springtime, around March. Some were even starting to feel it as early as February. And so we get hit by these every month. It's going to continue for a very long time. But what we're going to be having happen this month through October and November, and even possibly early December, we're going to have a little more intensity with these waves. Now, the nice thing is, those of you who've been feeling the energy waves, you know that these come in to help us release things, clear things, heal things. When we have things that we have to release and heal, it doesn't always feel so good on our physical bodies. We get sick, we get nauseous, we might have, stomach problems, we may have headaches, nausea, pain in the temples. Some of you are having lower back pain because of it. Some of you even in knee and feet, not feeling supported and able to stand, but all these aches and pains are coming up. So when these things happen, don't look at it like it's a bad thing. Actually, embrace it, because it means you are getting rid of things. Your soul is releasing things. And when we release things at a soul level, we release it physically, because all of our diseases and conditions stem from dis-ease within our soul. So it's a good thing. Look at it like a positive, like, oh my gosh, I just feel like dirt today, but that means I am healing. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, angels. Get it out. But it doesn't feel good when you're getting it out, because you might even feel like you have the flu. So to help with this, because it's going to be pretty intense. It's for many of you, you haven't felt something this intense since earlier this year, and this is going to be even a notch more intense than that. So you can help with the process. There are some things you can do. Many of you are being guided to take some actions. It doesn't necessarily always have to be huge, major actions, but whatever your angels and your team has been guiding you to do, for many of you for months, do it stat. Do it right now, because you may not be feeling ill until later this week. You can maybe help reduce some of that if you do your stuff ASAP. So, and again, it's not huge for some of you. I mean, maybe there's a conversation you need to have that conversation. If there's some papers you need to sign the papers. Make the decision, make the choice, make that phone call. Share that news, share that information, fax those documents. Some of you, they're saying you have to cancel some plans. There's some plans or a trip or something that you had scheduled that you've been thinking about. Oh my gosh, I need to cancel this. Oh my gosh, I want to do this. Cancel it. Because there's a new path, something new that you need to be doing, but you have to cancel plans, cancel a trip. Those of you that that's a message for, so do that. If there's something you need to announce, do that. Some of you, the announcement's even kind of like tied to, you got to announce something so you can go to a new path, new direction. But it is up to you to start getting some of this energy moving, because again, this energy wave that's coming in, is it's coming in because it's helping us release and clear things. So for many of you, you are not releasing and clearing things. So maybe this big chapter that's closing in your life, you haven't brought this chapter to a close because you have been delaying doing these final steps. And just by doing these final steps, you'll release that, you'll be able to move things forward and close that. Sometimes we don't realize that we are unconsciously delaying things out of fear of what does the future hold. So for some of you, you haven't done that little step that has been nagging you for weeks because deep down you have a fear of, okay, well, what if I call him, her, and break up, and I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I make it official, then I've got to move forward and something new, and that's scary. Or, what if I finally, sign those papers for the separation of my business partner, and okay, well, now I need to move forward on my own, and that's, what am I going to do? I've been brainstorming what I want to do, but I don't really know, and it's going to force me to have to move forward. So I think I'm just going to continue to sit here. They're saying stop sitting. Take those steps, because by you taking that step, that's going to help keep the divine from having to come in and them help mitigate and move those things forward. So, and it's also going to help you physically, energetically this week. So, those of you that have been getting pushed and guided to do something, do that. It will help you. It will help you be able to easily, a little more easier, ride this wave. It's going to help with these things. Because for many, this big, we'll call it divine push that's coming in, it's for thousands of people coming in to close a chapter in their life that has been lingering and needing to be closed for a very long time. So for these closures and endings that I know many of you have gotten to hear me talk about for months, things have been building up to this point. And it's going to be intense to slam that door closed. So those of you that still have action steps to take those. Now, others of you, they're saying that there are some dietary lifestyle changes or adjustments that you can do, and they don't have to be like long-term adjustments, but adjustments to do this week that will help you physically navigate through this so that you're not nauseous and sick like you were last month, times 10, so that it can be a little better for you. So if you feel guided this week to not eat meat, don't eat meat. Some of you may be guided to not have any alcohol or to not eat anything with sugars or heavy carbs, starches, because many of you will find that you are gravitating toward lighter food this week. So you may find that you just don't want to eat that much. Or you might find that, I really just want to have some steamed broccoli and some peaches. That's really all I want to eat, but that's so weird. I need to eat. No, you don't need it anymore. Just eat what you're being guided to, because for a lot of you, you are just going to be guided to do fruits and vegetables. And that's okay, because that is what you need to assimilate the energies that are coming in, because again, they're coming in to help you, to heal you, to release things. It's easier to release things when you're not weighed down physically and spiritually. Heavy meats, carbs, starches, of course, alcohol, any substances and such, that weighs us down. It makes it harder on our body to release those things that are not serving us, which then make us sick as a dog. So you don't want to be sick, you're feeling guided and pushed to eat lighter food, do that. It will be easier on you because it is going to be pretty intense, and it's going to be running late this week into next week. And again, remember, for some of you, these are just going to be temporary things that are going to be lasting for the week or 2 weeks. So don't think, oh my gosh, I love having a cheeseburger sometime. It's okay. Maybe 3 weeks from now, you're going to have a cheeseburger because you're going to be like, oh, I'm craving that. Listen to your soul. Listen to your body. What you're being guided to do that. Now, last thing, some of you may notice, you might see waves of energy. Now, it's not like what some people describe where like you're going to see this massive wave of energy coming up, rolling over a hill toward you. So everything's made of energy. When you start to see energy, I started seeing energy a few years ago, and it kind of tripped me out when it first started happening, because, you hear people talk about how, everything's made of energy and things aren't as solid as you believe. And you're like, yeah, right, they are. I can touch this table. I can sit on this chair. It doesn't drop me on the ground. It sure is solid. But everything is energy. Everything has an energy wave, a frequency to it. When you begin to see the energy, you will see the energy waves. So, some of you this week later this week when this, we're going to call it this upgrade, this little wave of upgrade and awesomeness that's coming in. When this wave of awesomeness and upgrade comes in, some of you are going to start to see energy. So you might be sitting in the restroom and you might look down at the floor and you might see little waves of energy. And they're kind of like little rainbows. When you see energy in things, it's kind of like, it looks like waves. And it'll be like colored like rainbows. And it'll be moving. So when you see that, don't freak out. Stay calm and allow it to unfold. It's not anything to freak out about. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. And you'll find that if you just, if you freak out, it'll just go away and right away. But most of you, they're saying most of you are ready for this. You're ready, or they wouldn't bring you to this point. You are ready to see things. So when they show you this week, or you're sitting there on your couch and you look up at your wall and all of a sudden you're seeing waves of energy and rainbows, don't trip out. Don't freak out. Allow it to happen. Allow yourself to see that, because the veil is being ripped. You know, the Bible and all these theological texts, the veil's being ripped. We are shifting dimensions. This is all part of the process. Those of you that this message is applicable for, you are part of these first groups of people that are going through the ascension process to awaken. You will be helping others as they start to go through it as well. So just stay calm when you see it, because you're going to start seeing things that you haven't seen up to this point. But it's a good thing. It's a blessing. It gets us more connected with the divine spiritual side, which is what will make things easier. So when you see the waves, stay calm, allow it to happen, and you'll notice it'll clear up. It's not like, you're going to start seeing these waves and like, oh my gosh, is everything going to be wavy all the time? No, it'll clear up. Now, like I said, we're going to be having these pretty intense waves now through November, early December. So some of you may not have that happen this month, but you might get your chance October, November. So same thing, just enjoy the moment, allow it, go with it. Some of you might experience some dizziness during this time frame. If you're feeling that, get outside and get yourself grounded. If you can, and you're in a climate where you can take off your shoes, put your feet on grass, on the ground. That'll ground you. That'll help get rid of that dizzy spell. And remember, the dizzy spell, it's not going to last that long, but some of you have already been experiencing it this year. But again, look at it like a plus, like, hey, I'm getting this awesome upgrade. I need to go stand on some grass though, so I don't pass out. So do that. If you do find that, oh my gosh, Nicole, I feel like I have the full-blown flu, I'm miserable, take an Epsom salt bath. Fill the tub up with warm water, put some Epsom salt in there and soak for 20 plus minutes. Eat light food, because many of you are going to be detoxing. You're going to be doing some heavy detoxing this week. So allow those things to come out. Something else you can do to help with the detox process is something as simple as put lemon in your water. That will help. If you can't drink alkaline, drinking alkaline water will assist you as well. Although if you've not been drinking alkaline water, I wouldn't suggest jumping straight into it. But especially this week, which is already going to detoxify you, but put some lemon in your water. That will help with any discomfort. Definitely Epsom salt bath, that will help. If you can do an ion foot detox bath, that would be great. For some of you that are going to be having the pain in your back and such, go get a massage. That also gets your lymphatic system going and helps push those things out quicker. So just do those things and enjoy riding this wave that we're having. And I'll look forward to hearing how you guys are all doing afterwards. Okay. Those of you that want to know about cards, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Love and Light deck, Sonia Choquette's Ask Your Guides. I also have my Findicicle Kippers and my Gilded Reverie Lenormands. And let's go. Okay. And if you guys can't see these, don't worry, we'll adjust accordingly. Oh, okay. It's here. Okay, so bear with me. They told me they want me to put those off to the side. Okay. And wait. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Okay, let's put that. Okay. Okay. Boy, oh boy, we are in for a good time today, aren't we? Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Over here. Okay. So let me see. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to move these over here. Move these down a bit so you guys can see the top row, and then we'll move them up as we work through them so you can see the details. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So what we have is this top row that I've moved down, so now you guys can see it. This is the situation, and again, this time frame is going to be running Monday, September 17th through Sunday, September 23rd. Let me see what these are real quick. Ugh. It's not pretty at all. Okay. Don't worry, it's going to get better. So don't be afraid by my not pretty at all. Okay, they have a plan. They have a plan. It's a beautiful thing about our angels. They always have plans to help us. Okay. So this is your situation. We have the letter. We're going to move these. So, okay. So we have this letter. And we also have this letter. This is, message. It's documents. It's not like, the writer who brings news in, but, it is something that is in writing, but it is on this left side. So it's communication that has not yet been sent. Because typically if we would have had, the mail card, the man card in here, and if he would be sitting on this side, that would mean that he has not sent a message yet. He's not shared a message in this. And if he were here and this was to the right of him, it would mean that he's not yet received the message, the information. But the letter is sitting to the left, which means there is some information that has not, for many of you, been sent. You have not shared some information. You have not given some communication yet. And this is it's pretty direct communication. It's something, the letter brings truth. It brings acknowledgement. It is an announcement. It can be your manifesto. It can be your proclamation, but there is something that has not been proclaimed, shared, announced, but it's something that hasn't been publicly shared. This is the garden. The garden's all about public community, things that are just open. It's groups, and then you have the labyrinth. And that's all about, so you have this situation that is at an end. It's just not officially over yet. It has been filled with a lot of trials and tribulations, because when you go through a labyrinth, you're constantly running into dead ends. You hit a wall, you got to start back over. And you have to turn around and go on a new path, go in a new direction, because you ran into a wall, a dead end. You gave it a good shot, not look at it like a failure, but it wasn't meant to be. You smacked into a wall. Well, you got to turn around and go in a new direction. Not working. So for many of you, you have this situation that has come to the end of its road. It is a situation that you have been trying for a very long time to make work. There's been a lot of confusion, because when you're going through this maze, it's a lot of confusion. You don't know which way to go. You don't know which way to turn. You make a turn in direction. You think it's going to work out, and then you smack your face into a wall and get a little, thorn in your side. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go try this way now. And then you run into another wall. Okay, well, now I'm going to try this. So you've been trying one thing after another, trying to make this work. For many of you, this is a love situation that you've just repeatedly over and over and over tried, but it's not worked. And you have come to this point of, so many of you have come to the point of acknowledging and realizing this doesn't work. but you haven't announced that you're going in a new direction yet. Because again, the labyrinth is, when you've come to a dead end, this card is all about going in a new direction, starting over in a new way. And although something ended, it didn't work out, wasn't a failure, it helped you learn, it helped you grow, but it's time to go in a different way, different direction, different path. For many of you, it's time to move in a direction with someone new. Let's get some more information. Okay. Let's use these. Yeah. Okay. Oh my. Okay. Well, you're very upset at this point. So what you have is despair. Despair, stress, worry, obstacles, adversity. I mean, he's sitting here with his hand in his palm. He's got this company behind him. He's got a sign that says not hiring. He's all dirty, worn out. He's got his work boots on, but he's not working. I mean, this is emotional exhaustion. After having multiple challenges, facing adversity, having nothing work out. It's about having extreme worry. Despair. You have this bad health. This can be about illness. But for many of you, this is indicative of this situation. Things didn't work out as you'd hoped that they would work out. So for those of you, this is a love situation. You were in this love relationship. Many of you, this was a commitment. Some of you could have been married to the person, engaged, but you were committed to this person. And you kept trying to make things work, and you had hoped things would work out. But things have not worked out as you wanted them to. They didn't work out as you'd hoped. And you are feeling powerless. You feel as though there's nothing you can do. Some of you, you've been so shell-shocked by it, you have not had the ability to take any action. You haven't done anything. You haven't taken any action steps. You've just been, oh my, this is a train wreck, and I'm going to sit here and do nothing because I can't believe this. And for some of you, it's like, I can't believe that this happened again. So maybe you jumped into a relationship with someone. It was the same relationship as the last person that you were with, where you were spinning your wheels because there's multiple people in this card. So for some of you, maybe you went from one woman to the next. Oh my gosh, she's just like the last one, or he's just like the last one. And then you've got this poverty card. And obviously this little chimney sweep, he's in pretty bad shape. He's walking across a rooftop. So for many of you, this is it's a dangerous situation. It's a relationship situation that you should not be in because it is doing you harm. And there is potential for even greater harm if you continue to stay in this relationship. But this is about, being down on our luck. Emotional deprivation, financial deprivation. It can also be indicative of financial loss, scarcity, lack. Now, this is additional information for what is the situation, what's going on. So for many of you, now could be another situation. You could have any type of situation ending. You really could. Again, remember, it's a general reading. But what they are saying is that for most of you, this is about a relationship, someone that you were committed to. Monogamous relationship. Didn't have to be married. Could be engaged. Could be married. But this person, you were committed to them. And you kept trying to make it work. It has not worked. You see, he's alone. He's alone. He's alone. No one snuggled up together here. Didn't work out. Didn't go as you'd hoped. No matter what you did, no matter how hard you tried, didn't work. Wouldn't work. You are now at a state of despair. You don't know what to do. You're frustrated. You're frustrated things didn't work out. Many of you are feeling really down on yourself, like, oh my gosh. They're saying is a number of you do want to officially end it, because the thing is, what they're saying is, the main situation for most of you is that you have not yet announced, because again, you have not announced, you have not proclaimed publicly that this is over, that you are going on a new direction and a new path. Many of you have not announced that because maybe you were engaged to this person, and maybe you're fearful once you publicly announce that, hey, we're done, we're not getting married. Your parents might be mad, their parents might be mad. You're like, what are people going to think? So you haven't yet publicly, because again, there's something you have not shared, a truth that has not been shared, something that's not been acknowledged, something that has not been proclaimed. You have not shared this information, and for most of you, it is a public thing. It doesn't have to mean that you're going to go out on social media and blast it out to the public, but maybe you haven't shared with your friends and family that, hey, we're getting divorced, or hey, we're not getting married, or hey, we're broken up, or maybe you haven't officially, maybe the two of you have gone in your separate directions, but you haven't officially contacted them and said, sat down with them and say, look, it's officially done. It's over. No more. And you're distraught about having that conversation. Some of you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. But the problem is, the more that you delay this, the more risk that you have. Yeah, they're saying for some of you there's risk. This person, the person is going to try to do something to hurt you financially. But it's something that you have to share, that you have to announce. Now, for some of you, there may be multiple things that you have to share. Because again, like you'll notice you've got these three birds, and they're white. White is all about divine messages. So maybe there are things that you have to announce to multiple people. Because it's, for some of you, it's something closed and something beginning. Now, as far as what you are, you can see those. We can be a little closer to me, so you don't have to see my arm going in front of the camera all the time. I like it. Okay. Now, these three cards are, what is it that you are fearing? What are your fears? What are your fears with this? So you are fearful of making this announcement, sharing this information that you are going in a new direction. Because, It's interesting. So you've got this card, choice, which is interesting because they're saying that most of you have already made the choice that it's done. Because they're saying you've made the choice, it's done, it's over. You just haven't announced it. You have not proclaimed it. You have not shared it. You have not communicated it. You've made the choice that it's done. You've made the choice that it's over. You have made the choice that you are indeed going in a new direction that will elevate you, that will be better for you, that will put you in a better situation, a better relationship. You notice these are stairs. They're going up. You are going to move into something better. The majority of you into a better relationship. But you've already made the choice. You just haven't announced it. Which is interesting. Why is choice in here again? Because you've got ring, and this is, commitment, love. And then you have dice, and dice is all about, risk, gamble, taking a chance in something that's going to change things. It promises change. Oftentimes this is talking about promising change that is positive, bringing in a new person, for those of you that this is love, bringing in a new element, something that will fulfill you, something that will bring you happiness, but you're fearing that. Why? Oh. Okay. So, you have stork, sun, and the fox. So many of you are fearful of, okay, so for those of you that this is a message for, it is love. You're fearful of announcing, because for a number of you, they're saying that you haven't officially announced to the person that you're in the relationship with, that it's over, or you haven't, announced it to family, friends. It's over, it's done. And it's not just the element of over and done, because this card is a new direction. It talks about going in a new direction. You haven't announced that. You have not shared that. You're there, you're alone, you just haven't done that. And you haven't done that because you are afraid that if you move in a new direction in love and you take this risk, you take this chance, the crazy thing is you've got the sun, which is beautiful, because the sun is about success. It's about huge success. It's also telling us have confidence in moving in this new direction. Have confidence in moving in this new direction of love, because you will find success. You will find happiness. You will find fulfillment. This work's all about a new beginning. See, they're building a nest. They're building a home together. You will be able to build a new home, a nest, something new with someone. But you're fearful of doing it because it's not a total brand new person. It is someone that you know from your past, someone that in your past you have deceived. Because we have the fox, and the fox is all about trickery. Now, you've got this hen house. So for some of you, there was sexual indiscretion. Of course. Okay. So you get the snake. You tell me pull another card. Okay. So for many of you, you're going to be leaving someone that you're with. You're going to be going back to someone who you will have something beautiful with, that will withstand the test of time. You are fearful of finally announcing to the one you're letting go that it's done and you're over, announcing it publicly. For some of you, the fear about announcing it publicly, this thing that, okay, it's done, it's over, I'm moving in a new direction, is because there is like a pending nuptials or pending relocation with each other. Or maybe you just relocated and you're like, dang, now I gotta say, I'm moving out. And it's going to cost me some money. But you don't want to be in the relationship anymore. You just haven't had the courage to say it's officially over, because there's this part of you that's fearful that is, okay, well, as soon as I say I'm closing this door, then I need to walk and move forward into this door. For a large number of you, this is moving toward a divine love of yours, new commitment. But it's taking a risk. It's taking a leap of faith, because although you will have a very successful relationship with this person, you will be able to build a home. Many of you are wanting to build a home foundation with someone. You will be able to do that, but you're fearful of doing that because you did not choose that person in the past. You chose the person where it was a train wreck and it didn't work out with them. Many of you chose the other person because of sex. Is the snake phallic? It's a snake. It's all about sex. If this snake were to finish this 8 symbol, the snake would be biting its tail, biting itself. So for many of you, you bit yourself because you chose the other person. You chose the wrong person. You're fearful also of having to share the truth, because the sun is about, giving clarity, sharing the truth, seeing the truth of the situation, seeing things as they are, but also giving the truth. So some of you are fearful that, okay, I'm gonna make this announcement. I'm gonna declare that this is over. I'm gonna declare I am moving in a new direction. But when I move toward her or him, I'm gonna have to be honest and share that, I went with someone else and I made a mistake and I'm sorry. And I was actually playing around with that person and making you think there wasn't anything going on there. And for many of you, the person that you chose to go be with, it was simply founded on sex. Maybe there was some sexual S&M kinkery going on. And that's what lured you in all the time. Or you were lured in and you thought it could become something more. But it didn't. But for some of you, you had something going on with this person. We had it going on with 2 people at the same time. You did make a choice. You chose the wrong person. Now you're like, oh my God, now I'm going to have to share the truth. They're going to lose it. And that is what you are very fearful of. But you are being encouraged to... No? Okay. You are being encouraged to go any new direction. Let's move these up. I guess they're timing your cards. When I went to lay down these 3 on the bottom row, they were like, nope, put them off to the side. So because what they want to see, they want you to see first. This row is what the angels are recommending that you do. They are recommending you have the compass. They are recommending that you go in the direction of your heart's calling, go in the direction of your true north, go in a new direction. You are, for those of you that this is love, you are being guided to this new person. Many of you, it's not a new person, it's an old person, but again, it's going to turn out beautifully. You just need to overcome your fears. That's all. Just get out of your own way. But the time, I've never noticed this before. Okay. You see how there's this same sun right here on the compass as here? This person that you're going to be heading toward, they are the key to your happiness. Because the sun is all about happiness, joy, bliss, dreams coming true, success. And it's also reminding us to have confidence to go in that new direction because it will be successful. It's going to bring you everything that you desire. That sun is on this compass. So that new direction, that new person, that is what's going to fulfill you. So the angels are encouraging you to overcome your fear and go in the new direction. The time has come to go in the new direction. Now, okay, we're not done with these. It's funny. Okay. So, you have the compass, you have the key, and you have clouds. The clouds are all about, those of you who aren't familiar with Lenormand, the clouds are all about clarity, seeing things clearly, but they're also about clearing up confusion. You see, there's this storm. You've been going through the storm. Things have not been clear. Things have not been clear to you, but most of you have come to a point of clarity now. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. You know you do not want the relationship that you're in. You do not want the situation that you're in. You want that done. You want that over. Many of you have even come to the decision, the point where you know, okay, I want this other person. I want to get rid of A. I want to close the door A. I want to open door B. I want to move toward that one. So the skies are clearing. But while you've been going through this turmoil, it's been difficult. It's been like a storm. It's been very challenging, but storms always clear up. Clouds are all about confusion. Not sharing the truth, not facing the truth, not wanting to see the truth. Maybe you not being truthful with the person that is done with, that, hey, you know, because they're saying for some of you, you've not been honest with that other person. They're trying to keep it moving. They're trying to hold on. You are at the point that you're not trying to hold on, but you're not being honest with them. You're not just coming right out saying, okay, wait, we're done. Like, officially, it's really over. And for many of you, you haven't done that because you haven't wanted to let those others. So for those of you that maybe it is that you were engaged and you're going to have to call off wedding. You don't want to let the family and friends and everybody down, but you need to do that. The time has come. Once you do that, things will clear up because you have the compass going in a new direction. The key for you to move, because you see there's this rose, this red rose about love, the door is open. So the key for you to be free from this hell, this prison that you have been in, for most of you, this is a self-inflicted prison. The key for you to freeing yourself and coming into a situation, again, a romantic situation that is going to fulfill you and bring you happiness, is going to be clearing the air, sharing the truth. So for some of you, it is because you know that they were saying there's multiple things that have to be shared with multiple people. So for some of you, it could be that you're sharing things with the person you're letting go, and then you're turning around and you're sharing, okay, I've had that chapter, that conversation, that's done. Now I need to have the conversation with them to share the truth that, hey, I didn't do the right thing in the past and I'm sorry. But we're going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to prove to you that I'm changed. I'm a changed person. Because for a number of you, that is what you're going to have to do to this person to win them back because of your past actions and behaviors and things that you have done. But again, you'll be successful. But again, the key, you want to go in this new direction. The angels are recommending you share the truth, you communicate, you clear things up. The key to you moving forward and having happiness and love is clearing the air. This sun brings clarity, sun brings truth. It is time, and this is the time card, and this is all indicative about saying, it is time. The time has come for you to speak your truth. For a number of you, it's closing a door and opening another door, but you have to have those conversations. Now, they were having me separate these cards. I want that one last. Because it's kind of like two groups of you. So for some of you that you don't have a relationship to end, maybe there's some of you out there that, maybe you're about to have some announcement coming that a chapter's closing. And you've been waiting for a chapter to close because you're ready for a new chapter to begin. But the chapter that's closing isn't anything that you need to communicate and take care of. Maybe you're a person that's waiting for a legal disposition to come in about something between a business partner or something. And at the same time, because again, there's multiple messages, maybe at the same time you're also waiting for loan information to come in about a loan to start a new business of yours. So you're just kind of waiting. Here I am, I'm waiting. Well, the nice thing is you're going to have two announcements coming in simultaneously. You're going to have announcements coming in that, hey, guess what? You don't have to put up with this business partner that's shady anymore. And guess what? Here's your loan for you to start your new business. But while you're waiting for that to come in, focus on service. Focus on helping others. You have helping others is helping yourself. For the whole, I'm going to have to turn it toward me because I have a glare and can't read it. For the whole law can be summed up in this one command: love your neighbors as yourself. Galatians 5:14. So for those of you that are just kind of sitting, you're like, I don't have to share any messages, because this is about the people that have to share some messages. But if you're like, I don't have to share messages, I'm just sitting here. In the meantime, while you're waiting for a chapter to close and a chapter to begin, focus on service. Focus on others. For those of you that do spiritual work, do that for others. For everybody, just do something kind. Help your neighbor. Make them a dish. Maybe you've got an elderly neighbor. Make them some food. Check in on them. Maybe help them with their landscaping. Do something kind. Focus on helping each other. They did say help each other and help others, because that's going to take, some of you are stuck in the state of like waiting. Well, while you're sitting there waiting for things, you're always thinking about how you're waiting for something to happen. You're just continuing to stay in a state of wait. You need to get yourselves out of that state of wait. So you need to envision that things are done. It's over. It's done. Everything has happened. You need to get yourself in the moment. The way to do that is to take your focus and your mindset off of you and put it on someone else. And that will help. Now, so these three cards aren't so pretty. We've got deprivation, exhaustion, and suffering. Now, you can move these up a little bit. Ish. Okay. And these aren't pretty cards. But there are ways to shift it. So for those of you that have a lot of things to clear up, and it could even be some of you that are just exhausted. You've been trying to close a chapter and you're just worn out. For many of you, this chapter that you've been trying to close in order to move toward new, it has been challenging. So you've got this deprivation card, and you see this figure. You see he's in here, and he's got this massive hole where his heart would be. He's got this tiny little plate with this tiny little crumb on it, and he's sitting in this box. No one has him chained in the box. He can get out of the box. many of you, because of a lack of not feeling worthy. So for those of you that, this is a relationship that you're letting go of where you kept trying and trying and it just didn't work, you have been settling for crumbs because that person was not appreciating you. They were not valuing you. For some of you, they just simply wanted to have sex or they wanted money. Some of you could have been, they just using you for money, whatever the reason may be. It was not a mutually beneficial relationship. It was not balanced with give and take, not reciprocity. It was totally out of balance. Out of sync. You were not communicating that with them, and they were not being honest with you about their intentions. But you just continue to stay in this box, in this prison, accepting these mediocre little crumbs that they would give you. Because deep down, there's been something that's made you think that, well, this is all I'm going to get. And for some of you, they even beat you down, talked to you in such a fashion where they made you believe that you were not worthy of anything better. But it's time for you to realize that you are deserving of so much more. It's time to stop depriving yourself of love because you want love. You want your heart. You feel like you got this hole in your heart, this hole in your chest. Like, I want love. I want this. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't think I can get it. It's time to remember that you are worthy. It's time to free yourself from this box, this mindset. So for some of you, it would be beneficial for you to start doing affirmations. I am worthy. I am deserving. It's time to stop, because that's going to help you stop with settling for crumbs and putting up with things that you know that you are deserving of more. For some of you, this is also, they're saying it's tied to this fear that, okay, because of things that I've done in the past, okay, I know that this new chapter, this new person is where it's at. I know that person is indeed my new path. I know that they are the one. I will find fulfillment, freedom, happiness, bliss with them. But I'm so afraid that when I share the truth, they're not gonna have anything to do with me. They're gonna slam me down in that box, close that lid, put some duct tape on it, kick it down the mountain. And I'm so tired of climbing mountains. So I think I'm just gonna sit here in this box and not do anything. You need to do something. It is guaranteed success, this new chapter. And you know that you have been everything. They're saying for a number of you, if you look back, they're saying for some of you, you can even look back 20-some years. But if you look back years, you will see that you have been divinely guided to this person, to this new situation. For most of you, this person. You know that. There is so much undeniable synchronicity and signs. This is your divine partner. This is the one. You know that. You are going to find happiness, but you need to change your mindset. You need to get out of that woe is me and the things never work out for me. And we're going to tie that here in a second on something you can do to release that. So some of you do some affirmations. I am worthy. I am deserving of unconditional love. I openly and easily give unconditional love and receive unconditional love, but start doing some affirmations. Some of you just start doing some mirror work. Start looking at yourselves in the morning, every morning and every night, and say, I love you 3 times in a row while staring directly into your eyes in the mirror. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of details to why that works. I've said in the past, but it is very powerful when you're looking directly in your eyes and you say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Do it in the morning, do it at night, do it every day. You're going to find it's difficult in the beginning. You're probably not going to want to look. You're going to laugh. You're going to try to look away. Then you might find that you start to cry when you're doing it. Eventually you'll get to the point that you will feel invigorated when you're doing it. Because what that does, that pre-programs you. Because if you are not loving yourself and you are not thinking that you are worthy of love, you're going to keep turning away from this divine love, which is where you're going to find your happiness. But when you love yourself, wow, you've got that confidence. You know what? I can overcome anything. Together, we can overcome anything. I can share the truth, and that's all right, because it's going to work out. So do some mirror work. Saying I love you 3 times in a row, morning and night. It's going to help. Exhaustion. So many of you, just be it this situation or be it those of you that have been waiting for a chapter to close, you're just worn out. You're beat out. Look, this figure is just sitting there like, oh my gosh. And if if you notice, you've got stairs. And here, okay. You know, they were talking earlier that this new path, this new direction, this new person is going to elevate. So you're getting an upgrade. I mean, who doesn't want an upgrade? So you're getting an upgrade. You've been settling for crumbs, but you are about to get like a 9-course meal with some amazing dessert. You're getting an upgrade. But you're at this point that it's time for you to walk up the stairs. Walk up the stairs. Walk up the stairs. Walk up the stairs. Walk up in this new path of yours. It's a good thing. Trust it. But you're so tired, I just can't even. I'm going to just lay here. Notice how the figure's like arm is in front of their stomach. That's where your solar plexus is. That's all about creating something new. You've got this amazing opportunity to create something new that's going to fulfill your dreams. This new direction is where it's at. And you're there. But you finally arrived at the stairs. All you've got to do is take steps. That's it. Stand up and start stepping forward, stepping upward. You know, at the very beginning, they were talking about how some of you, it just simply, that's funny, they did say that. It's a conversation you need to have with someone. And guess what? You're walking up the stairs. Guess what? You're moving into that new beginning. Guess what? You let that baggage and that drama with that ex of yours, or soon to be ex of yours, finally go. Things are looking up. But you have to stand up and you have to take an action step. It's a little different for all of you, but again, like they were saying in the beginning, it's not that difficult. It's not that big. It's not like you have to do the decision making of, okay, I want this to end. You've already made the decision. You've already made the decision to go in a new direction as well. You just haven't shared that. You haven't proclaimed that. You haven't communicated that. You haven't communicated that truth with the one on their way out, with the one on their way in. And you're worn out and you're exhausted. So what they're encouraging, okay, we're going to tie it real quick to the suffering one. So you got this suffering card. You got this person, interestingly, just like this guy here, hunkered over in a state of despair. Oh my gosh, how did things get this bad? I can't even look at it. I can't deal with it. I'm going to sit here and do nothing. Meanwhile, my life has stalled. It's time to give yourself a jump start. Suffering. And if you look in these cards, you've got divine help in all of them. You're surrounded by help. You got the stars. It is time for the suffering to end. The relationship situation you're leaving, there has been a lot of suffering, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, a lot of challenges, a lot of missteps, because it's been very trying. For some of you, that's a relationship. You worked and worked and worked and worked, and it just wasn't working. The time they're saying it's time for your suffering to be over. Now, some things that they're encouraging you to do to release these things, because it's energetic stuff. So, exhaustion. Some of you, what would help is find a sound healer. There's different sound healers, because what happens is we have masculine energy, we have feminine energy. So when we are constantly, maybe you were in your thoughts and your emotions for months trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? This is because this poverty card, you've been emotionally depleted. You have been emotionally deprived. You've been emotionally exhausted. So when we are in our emotions, we're in that feminine energy all the time. Because you haven't been doing, it's time for you to do and take action. But your energies are out of balance. So to bring those back into balance, go get some sound healing. I even find I go get sound healing regularly because, I've been in that masculine doing energy for so long that I need to balance my energy out. And you'll find when you balance your energies out, it boosts your energy. It brings you some new life force. So go get some sound healing for a number of you. Now, for others of you, a Reiki session might also work for some of you to help bring you back some energy, get you recharged. You just need recharged. And they're saying what you need to do is you need to take that first step. Stand up and take that first step. So again, going back to whatever it is you need to do, sign papers, make a phone call, share a decision, announce something, cancel plans, whatever it is that you need to do that, because that's your first step in the right direction. Now for some of you, it's a little deeper. When you look back, you're like, man. So for some of you, that maybe you've had repeated relationships that have been filled with difficulty and suffering, and you've just worn yourself out, and you're not getting return love and those things. We have sometimes they are, it can be an imprint, a blueprint that you have, a contract that you have, but it's this cycle, it's this contract, it's this thing that you keep reliving. So if you are a person that is so say someone that maybe they made a soul contract agreement, maybe they were a nun in a past life, and they made a vow of chastity, and then they're in this life and they're like, man, I can't ever get any love. I never get any love. I've never been in a relationship. Can't get love. I don't understand what's wrong. Well, if they go back and look, they made a vow of chastity in a past life, so that's why they're not getting any love. Some of you are unfortunately stuck in, well, not unfortunate, because you're going to clear it. But you are stuck in a vow, an agreement of suffering, and also a vow, a contract where everything has to be a struggle. So you just need to cancel those contracts. That's all. Because when you're stuck, because for those of you that there's these contracts that you need to end, you'll know, because if you look back over your life, you'll see, dang, Nicole's right. I've had nothing but struggles my entire life. And when you have struggles, because you're stuck in that contract, you're always exhausted because you're always just trying. You're trying to get ahead. You're trying to make love work. You're trying to make things happen, just no matter what you do. Keep hitting the wall. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when we're stuck in that, it causes a lot of suffering, a lot of sitting down like, why in the world? Why is this so hard? And some of you do have a separate contract of suffering. Or when you look back, you're like, oh my gosh, it's all so hard, so hard. Well, all you need to do is cancel it. You could go to a healer and ask someone to do that for you, but they're saying for most of you, you don't need that. You can do it yourself. It's really easy. You have an entire divine team, so call on God, call on Jesus, call on the angels. And, okay, so get a piece of paper, and on the one side, you can put, contract, semicolon, suffering, contract, semicolon, struggles, difficulty. And then on the other side, you can put that you want things to easily come together, that you want things to go smoothly with minimal effort, abundance. So then what you do is then you pray and you ask God, Jesus, and angels, come and help you. And you tell them, I need you to help me. And you ask, can you come help me? I need you to help me. Cancel all soul contracts, agreements, vows, bonds that I have made in all lifetimes. Completely cancel them, clear them, make them null and void. This lifetime and every other lifetime, any and all contracts of suffering, of poverty, of deprivation, whatever you feel, because when you sit down to write this letter, whatever pops up in your mind, like maybe you might have it pop up in your mind of lack of worth. Well, that might be a contract. So whatever pops up, write it down. I want to cancel, please help me cancel the following soul contracts, vows, agreements of suffering, poverty, struggles, so that I can, and then you flip to the other side of, okay, this is what you want instead, so that I can easily and smoothly move forward in life, so that things come to me easily and effortlessly. So my life is free of struggles. So my life is filled with happiness and bliss, and all suffering is gone. And because you want to put on one side, this is what I'm canceling, getting rid of. I would probably, if you're looking at words, I would say that I'm getting rid of the contract of suffering, and then on the other side, so you're not mentioning suffering anywhere near what you want, say so that you're filled with happiness or joy, or whatever you're wanting to replace that with. but what you want to get rid of on one side, what you want to have on the other side, and just ask that they help you cancel that all lifetimes so that you're done. And then you will rip it up, you will burn it, you'll collect the ashes, and then you'll go dump the ashes on the ground. If you've listened to any of my other videos, I'm not wasting time going into detail why each of those steps are important, but make sure you do each of those steps because they're very important. The reading it, ripping it, burning it, dumping the ashes. And then what you're going to find, you're going to find immediate relief. You're like, whew, something just shifted. Something huge just shifted. And don't worry about the moon cycles. It doesn't matter. God doesn't go by moon cycles. God doesn't care about moon cycles. God cares about getting you out of here and getting you here, getting you here. So do it now. Do it this week. Don't worry about what cycle we're in, what time it is. The time has come for you to do this, to free yourself. But you will find as soon as you do that, those of you that are stuck in these contracts, you're going to have an immediate release. It's going to like free you. You're like going to be like this bird that flew out of this cage and just disappeared. You're like, oh my gosh, I am free. And then you're not going to have any problems having that conversation to end things. You're not going to have any problems having the conversation and starting a new beginning. So that's going to help you. Oh, that's it. Okay. Now, there's kind of like two groups, they're saying. So we've got the first group where you guys just need to help and focus on other people. We got group two. Group two is this group that needs to have these difficult conversations. They need to let one path go. They need to move on the other path. They need to hitch their trailer to someone new. They already know who they need to hitch their trailer to. They just need to do it. They know who they need to unhitch their trailer from and let that go. They already know it. Those of you in that group, it's time. Angels are encouraging you to take that risk, take that leap of faith, because you will find that's what's going to bring you full circle. That's what's going to bring you fulfillment, bliss, happiness. Look at all these stars being dropped on the two of them by these little cherubs. It's time to let this go and go diving for the other person, go diving for the new. Because as soon as that connection's made, that's when magic happens. And for some of you, after that connection's made, there's some of you that are wanting to start a family. You're going to have a child or a couple children with this person. And you're going to have joy, you're going to have happiness, but take the leap of faith. Let the old go. Let it swing away. Because if you've ever seen a show where they're out and they're swinging, that's gone. They don't have anything else. No more safety net. Because for some of you, you've stayed in this relationship that's been toxic for way too long because it's been your safety net. It's time to let the safety net go. Take the risk. It's going to be worth it. It'll be so worth it. It's time to go through the new doors. Card says, have the faith to walk through new doors. At the bottom it says, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. You know what's interesting? For a number of you, this new person, this new path, this new door, it's a divine, well, it is divinely guided, you know that, but it's a divine relationship. You've got these two pillars. You got these two pillars back here. For some of you, this could be your twin. But this is a divine relationship. When you get up off the ground, wherever that card went, up off the ground, well, wherever it went. Get up off the ground and start walking up the stairs. Look how beautiful that is. Trust. The other interesting, see her skirt? She's got this, they were saying the new path is the key to your happiness, the key to fulfilling your heart. She's got a rose right there where her heart is. So the majority of you, this is love related. It is a divine love. The new person, she or he, they are the key to your happiness. You are being encouraged to go in their direction. Her skirt is like a rainbow. At the very beginning, when Archangel Michael was giving me some of that opening information for you, was talking about this wave that's coming in, how some of you guys will see it. Well, the energy waves, as mentioned, when they come in, they look like rainbows, because energy is multiple rays of energy, of colors. We're getting hit by a big energy wave this week. If you can take the action steps that you need to do this week, and you can allow, and by energy wave, this is bringing in this transformation. This is bringing things full circle closure from your past, so you can let it go, so you can move into your future, which is where all the things that you're desiring await. And it's coming in on this energy wave, which is filled with rainbow colors. This is a very powerful week for many of you. Now, for many of you, don't be discouraged if this week maybe it's a pre-prep, because again, we are going to have very powerful waves now through November, late November, early December. Every month. But for a big group of you, you're riding this first big wave. Ride the wave. Let the old go. Move into this new direction. Open the new door, because that is where it's at for you. So hopefully that helps everyone. Hopefully all those little steps to help and make things easy and help you feel well and help you move forward and clear and release things. And sorry for my loud, mouthy Yorkie who knows she gets to eat dinner now. Hopefully that helps all of you. Hang in there. It is going to be worth it. Trust me. Oh, okay. I almost forgot about this. They told me to flip this over. Okay. Release your cares to God. And at the bottom it says, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, then I would fly away and rest." Psalms 55:6. Ask God for help. Ask Jesus for help. Ask the angels for help. This, for those of you that this message is for you, this is divinely orchestrated. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so worth it. Let God carry you through and across the finish line, because you deserve a pat on the back, because those of you that this message is for, you have arrived. You have arrived. Just take the last steps and enjoy. Wishing you all a lot of love, joy, and blessings.